Hi, welcome back to the garden. Today is Sunday, August 21st. You know what we're going to do today? We're going to plant. But it's almost the end of August. What do you mean we're going to plant? I found this very cool seed pods, not beans. They say 50 days. On the back here it says August through October. We still got more than 50 days before a frost, and we normally eat seed pods off our radishes anyhow. So I'm kind of excited to see how these taste when you cook them. If you remember, over here we had a potato patch. It's been left alone for a little while. We've got leaves, we've got wood chips, we've got sawdust, we've got quite a bit of organic matter on top. This is a good time to talk about mulch versus compost. If you're new to deep mulch gardening, you don't plant in the mulch, you dig down the soil. So you just move your mulch back out of the way, and that mixes it up also as you're doing that. If you have something you started in a container, just go ahead and pull back enough just to make a hole big enough to put that in, and you can mulch back around it a little heavier. I mean, look how nice and loose that soil is underneath that mulch. Today we're just going to plant in a couple furrows. Not a whole lot of seeds here. If we get some, we'll save our own seeds. It says about 2 inches apart. You know me, I like to plant heavy. I do like to plant heavy simply because there's things out here that like this stuff as much as we do. And if I'm going to get some without spraying a bunch, then we got to have enough for everybody. And you never know what your germination rate is going to be. So actually I'm spacing these out more than I usually do. And that's all of them. There wasn't a whole lot in there. Okay, now Roost Stout would have just dropped them on the top and just patted them in. We've been dry enough lately that I want to make sure that these have plenty of moisture, that they have a good strong start when the bugs come. I'm just going to put just a light little bit of shavings over the top, because that's what I have here. I got a little bit of leaves. And this is just to hold the moisture in. And these should be able to poke right on up through this without any problem. And this isn't thick at all. This is just a nice light little layer. Over the last few days I've done quite a bit of study over the difference between a compost and a mulch. Now what we're doing here is correct, but what we're doing here is wrong. What we're doing in the compost pile is correct, but what we're doing in the compost pile is wrong. I know, it's confusing, isn't it? The original composters were saying you want a good balance between your browns and your greens, you want to heat it up, you want to kill the pathogens. But they don't know why. Now your browns, they're going to attract fungus. And your greens are going to attract bacteria. Now in your soil here, if you only had bacteria, your plants will die. If you were fungal dominated, your plants will die. So you need a good balance of bacteria and fungus, and then your plants will die. But what you also need is you need the things that will eat the bacteria and fungus, because your plants are going to tell the bacteria and fungus to make enzymes that are going to break down the sand, silt, and clay and bring the nutrients in that the plant needs. But they're locked up in the bacteria and fungus. So you're going to need your protozoa, your microarthropods, your predatory nematodes. You're going to need all of those things to be eating the bacteria and the fungus. And then they're going to make those nutrients plant soluble, so the plants can take them up. And then you're going to need some bigger predators to go after those smaller predators, the whole soil food web. So you need a whole balance of it. All right, on the garden, on the land wants to stay covered. It's going to be covered in weeds, grass, crops, something. In a forest, leaves fall, covers the ground. That's a brown, highly fungal in a forest. Almost no weeds inside a forest. Wherever humans have plowed, we tear up the fungus and we allow bacteria to thrive, and that produces weeds. So we want to cover our ground, we want to cover it in organic matter. So our hay, which is dried green, promotes some bacteria. Our leaves and wood chips are dried browns, which promote fungus. So now you got a balance as they break down And that organic matter promotes the two organisms that break down the dirt to make it into soil. We're not fertilizing the plants with the organic mulch. All we're doing is covering the surface. And it needs to be a minimum of 4 inches thick. A foot is better. And see, like we did here where we're planting, you don't plant in the mulch. You just pull the mulch back down to bare soil, and you saw what that soil looked like. You saw what the soil straight under the wood chips looked like 2 days ago. All I did was pull the wood chips back. You plant in there like normal. You water. Then you cover it with just a little bit of organic just to keep the moisture in. Now the importance of the bacteria and the fungus is they build structure. As they build that structure, the roots can go down, the water can go down. It's pathways, it's hallways, it's buildings. And then as the roots go deeper, the bacteria and fungus go deeper. Your soil becomes looser, deeper. You don't have that compaction zone. And it's all aerobic. Oxygen can flow in and out of that soil. And so the whole point about a compost, yeah, you want it to heat up to kill some of the seeds, but you want to keep it aerobic. Out here on the garden, if you're going to do a heavy mulch, you want to keep it light and fluffy and nice mixtures of green and browns. Keep it aerobic. Now, I'm learning by observation, and if you've been following this story, you can see the success we have. 2 ears off of that one. Guess you're both coming with me. And this is why we do it right here. This is why we do it right here. You can do this too. Looks like we got enough to eat and to freeze. You can do this too. It's really not that complicated. And I've been using whatever organic matter I get my hands on. So far, seems to be doing a pretty good job. Glad you stopped by and helped me pick some corn, plant some radishes, take a look at the deep mulch. And until next time, remember, take care of yourself, take care of your family, and God bless you. Come on, let's plant.
Let's go plant garden.